I saw on Twitter that a lot of people were, quote, retweeting this particular tweet. Anyway, everyone was suggesting their favorite girl failures instead of girl bosses, and I loved it. First, let's talk about today's sponsor, and it is Love and Pies. Love and Pies is a phone or a tablet game. You can download it on both, and it's a build your own business type of game where you can customize and decorate the space around you, especially the business, obviously, and it's like a cute little cafe. You will be running the cafe as Amelia Green. She is the main character of the game. She's a single mom that just got divorced, and she came to her old family cafe that is in need of renovation, and it's in this small town of Appleton, which is really bright and wholesome looking. And it's a nice game to just play when you're taking a little break from, daily tasks or whatever, because it's not just gameplay, it also has a storyline, so it's a little bit more interesting and a little bit easier to get into, even in short bursts throughout the day. So the storyline is also constantly updated, so it's not like it's the same story that you have to do over and over again. It's a constantly updated thing, and it includes mystery, drama, and it's kind of funny. Like, it's not dark mystery that's gonna make you sad, Basically, it's not just a task-oriented game. You also get a cool story and a roster of different characters to get to know while participating in events and competitions. I think you'll like how cute the game is, aesthetically speaking. Thank you to Love and Pies for sponsoring this video, and download Love and Pies with my link in the description or in the first comment that's pinned under this video. Two baddies, one poor. We've got Usagi. Usagi is Sailor Moon. Listen, if I would be someone from the Sailor Moon cast, I would probably be Sailor Mars, because Usagi's behavior pisses me off, and I understand that it's realistic, and also I understand that people are like that sometimes, and I also understand that I'm just being an ass. Like, I'm just trying to be fair here. Like, yes, she's annoying and slow with her reactions, and she's always crying instead of doing what needs to be done, but at the same time, I'm a demanding person and not everyone is like me, and that's okay. Like, I'm not mad about it. By the way, if you hear my earrings, I'm sorry, because I can hear them, then probably you can hear them too. So even though like she pisses me off sometimes, just in the same moments where Sailor Mars is pissed at her, I'm usually pissed at her too. But let me tell you, she's my girl. It is what it is. There is nothing I can do for her to not be my girl. Pearl. So listen, she is an icon. I think, honestly, I love when characters like that show up. And by characters like that, I don't mean psychopaths or people who just murder others or whatever. I guess I just really enjoy when there is an iconic character that has an iconic look. Like, if you see the poster for Pearl, if you see any of the screenshots, even though this actress is in multiple movies, right? You always know that this is specifically Pearl because just the styling, the way that they filmed everything, the color palette is very consistent, and of course it's going to really do it for me in that sense, right? However, I do think that this movie does not deliver. I was expecting more in terms of, like, honestly, I think I just expect more from horror than what it actually is. Most of the time it is just, a slasher or whatever it is, and I want too much from them. So I'm not gonna say that it's not delivering as much as it's just like a horror movie for horror's sake. If you put a smiling filter on me, yeah, I did not notice that until I tweeted something with this image because I thought it looked really funny. And then a lot of people sent me the image of Pearl, this exact image, and they were like, that's what we thought. And you're not wrong. I'm gonna tell you right away, this is the hairstyle that my grandma would make me wear as a kid. So I genuinely looked like this as a child. So I'm gonna tell you right away, I'm not one of those people who would say, she's just like me. No. Like, good for her in some instances, but also like, ew. In any case, I think I'm gonna put her in gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, because she is doing what we consider to be bad, but since she is a woman, we're like, yay. So she is a girl boss. You get it. Hachi. Listen. Hachi didn't even come to mind, from Nana, by the way. She didn't even come to mind for me. I did not think of her at all when I was looking at those tweets, but they just named things that happened to her. I need to read it to you because it is brutal. But the thing is, like, they're right. It's not like they're saying anything that she didn't do. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Slept with a married guy, failed at school, moved to Tokyo for a cheater, failed at every work she had, dated another wrong guy, cheated on him and got pregnant by an abusive, misogynistic loser, married him for financial stability and became an unhappy housewife with kids. Hachi babe, like, honestly, how is she surprised that Nana ran away? Because what are you gonna do in this situation? Your boy's gone, as we know, and your girl is an idiot. Like, what are you gonna do? Run to London, I guess. She's going into realistic, but I'm still mad. I've seen way too many people do things that they cannot explain. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you right away, this is a thing that I hate about people the most. I do not understand why everyone just does things without having a reason. If I ask you why and you don't know why, I am gonna judge. Elizabeth Holmes, that girl, you know her. She's definitely gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Like, where else would we put her? She's the definition of it. The definition, girl. Crazy look in her eyes. She did swindle a bunch of old men. I mean, it is a classic. Her whole look, it's a classic. Speak with a lower voice, dress like you're trying to adhere to the rules, of the office or whatever, but you just don't care. Same with your hair and your makeup. So you kind of do wear makeup, but poorly. You kind of do your hair, but really not well. And that is the perfect spot on the spectrum of womanhood, where men decide that you are probably competent enough based on your looks, of course, because that's the only metric they use. Genius styling choice for the swindling that she was doing, the type of thing that she was going for. Definitely gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. Lindsay Bluth.
I'm gonna throw on a skirt, take off my underwear, and make her pop up proud.
I don't know. I do not like her enough to put her in That's My Girl, that's for sure. Writers, I guess they did have it out for her, but to be honest, they had it out for everyone in that show. Come on now. And she didn't even get it that bad. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. She's definitely not girl boss enough. Wow. What are we gonna do? You know what? We're gonna put her in between Writers had it out for her and gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. But just know that she is in a different dimension. She's out of time, out of space. I don't know where to put her. Let's live her there. It's fine. Okay, Reagan from Inside Job. Reagan is not failing at her job. She's not failing at anything that she's doing per se. Maybe romance a little bit until she met the right person, but then anyway, she is a girl boss though, she does gaslight, gatekeep, and she does girl boss. She knows what she's doing, and she continues on doing it. So this row is really filling up. Cassie Howard, I think, from Euphoria. A mess, girl. She's definitely going to realistic, but I'm still mad because, I hate that. Everything she does, I'm like, girl, ew. Really? And I know that there's a lot of people who are apologists of her, whatever. I'm not saying that she's the worst person ever. It's just, for a man, really? Penny from The Big Bang Theory. The writers had it out for her. They did. Let's be real about this. I don't think she landed even one role, which is strange because you would think that she would at least have some background acting gigs or whatever, and she just didn't get any of those, which is insane. All the guys that she hangs out with, all the nice guys across the whole are absolutely terrible. I would probably, I don't know, set the entire apartment building on fire if I had to live with people like that across the hall from me. Come on now. All of them are so annoying. Leonard. Whatever. I just honestly hate that show. I do. There's a lot of shit that I just don't like about them. I feel like I just don't like any of the characters. That's the problem. Just all of them are so unlikable to me. And Penny got one of the worst fates in the entire show. I think that Bernadette also got a really bad situation because I believe that she did not want kids at all. And what happens? Yeah. With Penny, not only does she not get a job that she wants, she gets Leonard. They just had it out for her, living with those assholes for all those years and dating one of them. It's just the writers really wanted her to be the girl to just fulfill all the fantasies of those ugly ass men across the hall from her. It's just not cute. It was messed up, actually. if you ask me. Next one is Diane. Diane is an interesting case where I do find her a bit annoying, mostly because she's just like the epitome of everything, kind of hypocritical, but she's trying. And I do think that she still is mostly in the gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss area. I mean, she didn't get it that bad as like a lot of other characters there, so I can't put her in writers had it out for her. I'm gonna say gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, maybe a little bit down to realistic, but I'm still mad, just a bit, because actually no, she is girl boss. She's a girl boss. What can I say? Brita is a character from Community, and I have a lot to say about this, to be honest, because listen, this whole thing is fucked up, honestly. She started as a very different character than the character that she ended up to be in the last season, and I mean, honestly, last season was even at least a little bit closer to what she used to be. I don't mean that she had a character change as in character growth or even regression that would make sense for this character. She was basically written one way for about a season, maybe 2 seasons, and then entirely differently for the rest of it, basically. They dumbed her down to it, and just such a extreme. I don't quite understand what the fuck happened there. It's basically she was kind of cool, and maybe she was a bit hypocritical about her activism or whatever, but she was kind of cool in the first season, and then it's like a bunch of misogynists started to just dog on her. Like, it feels like a bunch of guys who are like, let's punish her for being who she is. That's how it feels. It does not feel organic. It does not feel like it makes sense. It feels like it's a completely different character, and nothing about her is like in any way related to what she was supposed to even explore as a character. Like, she was set up to explore particular things about our, Western culture or whatever, and they just never did anything with her because they decided to just make a jester out of her. It's nonsense. Writers had it out for her 100%. Eleanor, I'm gonna have to put it in that's my girl, but just know that I'm not that. No, actually, let's put her. She's better than a girl boss though. She really does grow as a person. Let me put her in that's my girl, but I don't feel that strongly about her. She's not like my girl. Beck from You. People were really unhappy with her. I don't get it. I don't. Because I feel like most characters in most shows exhibit this exact behavior that Beck exhibited. So I'm not entirely sure why people are all of a sudden saying that she's stupid or whatever. It's like, you're watching shows where people do this shit on the daily, on like basically all the time, and you still manage to find something relatable about them, even though I don't think you should be. But this is where you draw the line on a girl that got stalked and murdered. Really? Like, I just don't get it. The writers had it out for her. I feel bad for her. She was so close to getting out, and regardless of her being stupid, she deserves to live. Like, come on now. Also, I don't think that she's stupid. I just think that she is just like any other character in Western shows. Elena Gilbert. Like, I get what people are saying. I think that she was not bad in the first season, or like in the first few seasons. I think that it's just, first of all, of course, she was written in a very bland way. So she's gonna be a halfway in the annoying and bland area. But she definitely wasn't, she was just handled very poorly, I guess. I think that the writers wrote a character with a very tragic backstory that's very fresh too. Literally what happened to her happened like a year ago maybe. Like, she lost both of her parents, right? You don't just gloss over things like that. And I mean, obviously they mention it, and obviously there's like moments where she's like apparently having a hard time because of all the things that accumulated, all the bad things that accumulated in her life. But she's never actually given a proper character arc. She's never treated like a full human being. She's treated like kind of blank slate for people to project themselves onto so they can imagine themselves with Stefan or with Damon, She doesn't get enough to work with. So as much as I would like to put her in realistic, but I'm still mad and annoying and bland, it is a result of writers just not understanding that the main character needs to have a character arc. She can't just be a pseudo good girl that you project things onto. I'll be nice, and I'll put her in the writers had it out for her. Haley. Yeah. On one hand, I think that the writers had it out for her, but on the other hand, considering that whole trope of people, writing characters being like, oh, she's really bad at school, she never pays attention to anything, she's not good at anything. Especially because like later she was kind of like supposed to be good at fashion or whatever, but they never actually set it up properly. They never really make her fashionable in any sense, so it's kind of sloppy. Based on all of this, I'm like, this outcome is very realistic, but it still makes me mad because I wish they wrote this character better in general. I think that she deserved better, especially not Dylan. Was it his name? Dylan? I don't quite understand why they put her back with Dylan, why they had to remove that other guy who was like in the middle season, remember? Because I think that there was so much character growth shown through her like dynamic with that dude. It's really strange that they just kind of axed it and jumped back to Dylan. I don't quite get it, honestly. The writers had it out for her, but also it is a bit realistic, I guess. No, you know what? I'm gonna put her in both. Serena van der Woodsen. She really is really something. The girl really had a rough time when she was 16. Not even 16. Honestly, like, she was just always a mess. I still really love her though. That's my girl. I gotta go. Blair, I'm sorry. I gotta go. Dan is waiting for me. Dad, Blair needs me. I gotta go. Rory Gilmore. Everything I know about the Gilmore Girls was against my will. I did not watch the show. Don't attack me. The premise does not make me want to actually watch it, okay? Because it's about basically a mother and a daughter that both kind of have a pretty good situation going for them. However, they're acting as if they're like piss poor. I don't like when people are pretending to be poor. It annoys the fuck out of me. And apparently Rory's just like cheated on a bunch of people and she got into Yale, but then she didn't really do anything with that. Basically, that sounds annoying to me. And since she's not messy enough to make me want to watch the show, I would say that she's annoying and bland. And you can, honestly, you can rip me apart in the comment section if you want to. That's okay. Because I'm going in blind and I'm being disrespectful. Because I did not watch the show, but I'm judging her and I'm putting her in a category. So it would be totally fair for you to be mad. Honestly, like, I get it. Their girls are going into That's My Girl. It's not like they're failures per se, but they have that funky vibe about them. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk about them here, but I love them. So they're going into That's My Girl. Also, I kind of feel weird about Eleanor being in That's My Girl section because I don't really love her that much. So she's going to Gaslight. Look at how many blondes are in here. Actually, maybe it's the same amount. Wait, 9, 10. No, it's not the same amount. That's crazy. Anyway, that was fun. Welcome to the new patrons. I posted a little video update on the Patreon about like how the Bratz video is going. Really excited for you to see it. And I'll be back soon. Bye.